Good evening, football fans, and welcome back to Dalzell Field. John Denham alongside Tim O'Neill tonight as the Hempstead Mustangs welcome home their alumni. It's homecoming night here for Hempstead. The North Scott Lancers are the opposition. Mustangs got the green tops and gold pants tonight. Lancers in their road whites with the gray helmets. They are going to kick first. Mustangs will receive. Hempstead comes in 2-2. And off of a victory a week ago, 39-19 over Waterloo East. They opened the season with a convincing 42-20 victory over Davenport North before falling to Waterloo West and Cedar Rapids Kennedy. We had that one here at thonline.com/live as well. 1-3 for North Scott. Losses in the first 2 weeks to Assumption and Clinton. Beat Davenport Central, and a loss last week to Muscatine. That's how we got to where we are right now. And happy to have you here on a Friday evening on what should be a great night for football. Short kick, picked up at the 25 and gobbled up there just past the 30.
Kick returned by number 7, Brennan Imhoff.
Imhoff was the return man.
Tackle made by number 55.
And the Mustangs will start at the 31-yard line.
Mustang 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
So under center, Mustangs will start with a quick, nope, it's going to be a quarterback keeper. And it was a great fake. Off to the races is Crowder, and it's a first down from the 31 out into North Scott territory.
Big start for Hempstead. They'll use that quarterback keeper quite a bit this tonight and this season. Probably won't see him pass a whole lot unless they get behind big.
I think they've only got something like 40 pass attempts, averaging about 10 per game, are the Mustangs coming in. You'll see this setup with the 2 wide receivers, a single running back, and then those 2 flankers, sometimes pre-snap motion, sometimes not. This time it will be handed off to Johnny Miller, who falls forward for a couple.
Ball carrier number 2, Johnny Miller.
Last time I had the Mustangs here a couple Fridays ago in that game against Kennedy, it was raining off and on, and Hempstead couldn't hang on to the football. Whether it was a center quarterback exchange or a misdirection play or a quarterback draw or keeper, or the read option, what you name it, they dropped the football, and it cost them big time on the scoreboard that day. We'll see if the rain stays away tonight. I'm sure Marshawn Crowder and company would appreciate that from Mother Nature. Crowder going to roll to his right this time. Going to flip it out. And with first down yards here on the near sideline is Brennan Imhoff.
Ball carrier number 7, Brennan Imhoff.
So 3 snaps of the football and 2 first downs for Hempstead here
First and 10 for the
on the first
Mustangs.
possession of the night.
35-yard line.
Crowder comes in with a team-high 348 yards on the ground and a team-high 46 carries, averaging just over 7.5. Also tied for the team lead with 3 rushing touchdowns. Miscommunication in the backfield on who was supposed to go there. Pre-snap, that's going to be an illegal shift.
Crowder flag on the play.
Trilk and Imhoff moving in the backfield.
Start called on the Mustangs.
So we'll make it 1st and 15 here after the penalty. No shortage of penalty flags with
Loss of 5 on the play. First and
2
15.
players moving in the backfield pre-snap. Mustangs will start over from the 40. Blake Frederick, the senior, trots in with the play. Going to keep it again around the left side. Makes a move, but is brought down in the backfield.
Ball carrier number
Cole
15.
Rollinger wrapped him up. And after 3 great positive plays, 2 in a row going backwards for the Mustangs.
Tackle made by number 25, Cole Rollinger.
This is one of those situations where Hempstead might start thinking the pass, 2nd and 19, but But then again, you know, they've got that ability to rip off the long runs. Kind of expect a run too.
Yep. Most teams will go 8, 9 guys in the box and just leave that one single high safety. Coming off the near side this time, Tay Collins has one blocker. He's back to the original line of scrimmage, and he's down at the North Scott 30, so third and manageable now for the Mustangs.
And this is my first time seeing Hempstead this year, but that is how they got the job done last year. It was Tay Collins and Marshawn Crowder. He wasn't the quarterback last year, but those kind of runs, that was their bread and butter last year, and it worked for them.
My limited takes with them so far this year, they've been much better with the pre-snap motion. If they just go straight up and try and do something without making the defense think a little bit, they haven't had as much success in terms of yards per play. So they're doing it almost every time here tonight. Now they're going to fake the first one, hand off the second one. Imhoff off to the races. He has first down yardage, but tripped up before he could reach the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 17.
And what makes Hempstead so tough to defend with that offense is not only do you have Crowder, the quarterback, you got Johnny Miller, the running back. Brendan Imhoff has broken off big plays, and Tay Collins, too. I mean, there's 4 different guys running the football that you got to watch for.
Off the left side, nothing doing there. It'll be a loss of 3.
Second down, 13 yards to go.
Will Courtney brings the play in this time. Junior will come out here outside the numbers. Going to go 2 wide receivers to the same side now. First man through, gets the handoff, and back to the original line of scrimmage they go again. 3rd and 10 now for Hempstead. Flags are blowing this direction, so a field goal attempt not out of the question if they can't convert here. They are right smack in the middle of the field. And looking to keep the drive alive. Already 7:22 remaining here in the first quarter. After this plays over 5 minutes in the time of possession here for Hempstead. Fakes the toss to the left. Crowder rolls right, flips it out, and a one-handed grab. It's a nice catch. It's going to look good on the highlight film, but it's not enough for a first down. There is a flag in the backfield, and it's going to be a defensive penalty. It's going to be an automatic first down. The indication was targeting, possibly. I have to brush up on my officiating. Referee wanted to check on Crowder.
Hit to the head.
So that's got to be 15 yards and an automatic first down. Yeah, targeting. So I was in the neighborhood with my terminology, but so they'll walk this off, and it'll be 1st and goal. It'll be half the distance, I suppose. So the Mustangs will have 1st and goal from the 6 on the right hash mark. And boy, does that change things here on the opening drive. It's been a mixed bag, some great positive plays, but also some frustrating negative plays for Hempstead. North Scott going to be kicking themselves on this one here, depending on how this turns out, this drive.
And for Hempstead, a touchdown on the opening drive is exactly what they need to get into this.
First man through again, nowhere to go for, it looked like Imhoff.
Ball carrier number 2, Johnny Miller.
Nope, I spoke too soon. Johnny Miller. Now Imhoff trots back into the game for Tay Collins. 2nd and goal after a loss of a yard.
When you think about North Scott for years has been one of the tough teams in Northeast Iowa and made a lot of playoff appearances. So Hempstead's got to figure North Scott is going to be one of those teams that's battling for a playoff spot. So even though this is the district opener, this is a really crucial game for the Mustangs.
Crowder fakes it to the first man through, keeps it inside the 5. Did he stay on his feet long enough? No, indication to this point is he is inside the 1, and that's where they'll set it up. Inches from the goal line.
Heck of a run by Crowder. Boy, it looked like he could have been tackled about the 5, and he just kept going.
Yeah, there was. He wasn't really interested in selling the fake that time. He was interested in the extra split second of momentum and lead time before the defense realized what was going on. So 3rd and goal from inside the 1. Crowder goes under center. Jumbo package this time. Crowder will go in on his feet. 6-0 Mustangs in front of the homecoming crowd. 5:38 to play here in quarter number 1. And just what the doctor ordered, coming off a win a week ago on their home field on homecoming, the Mustangs are in front 6-0. Looks like Luke Noonan out to tack on the extra point. Short run up here for the righty. Snap and hold are good. And the PAT is good as well. 5:30 in the clock. Mustangs in front 7-0. We'll take a quick timeout and be back here at thonline.com/live. Welcome back to Dalzell Field. John Dunham alongside Tim O'Neill tonight. High above the surface here at the recently renovated Dalzell Field. Couple years now. And for the first time tonight, the Mustangs will kick it away.
Backgate number 11, Jared Russ.
This is standard operating procedure for the kickoff unit for the Mustangs. Come together all bunched up, threaten the onside kick, and then go back to their spots. 5 seconds on the play clock, and away it goes. It will be brought down at the 1, and it'll be a touchback. Nathan Wilkerson wanted to take it out, but football crossed the plane of the goal line, and so out to the 20 we go. First look at the North Scott offense. From the shotgun, a handoff here to the near side. And twirled out of bounds here at the 24-yard line is number 25, Cole Rollinger. Rollinger's second on the team in rushing, third on the team in rushing. Glance down at the receiving line, my apologies. Out across the 30, that's enough for a first down. So North Scott offense having similar success. And they're going to go right away. No hesitation here. Zipping a pass out. Oh boy, nearly intercepted on the far side. Russell Allison turns his head around a little bit sooner, and the deflected pass might be going the other way for 6 points. Sam Stronskis is the quarterback for North Scott. 39 of 69 coming in, a 57% completion percentage. Another attempt on the ground here on 2nd and 10. Maybe fell forward for a yard. Jared Russ is the leading rusher.
Be really big for Hempstead here to get a punt, get the ball back, and send its offense back to work early on. Get that early lead going.
3rd and long. North Scott changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Some of the offensive linemen want a clarification, and they got it. No tight ends here. This is a bunch formation to the left. Now they'll even it out at 2 apiece. Stronskis rolls to his right and complete. Breaks the first tackle. and into Mustang territory with the yards after the catch. Looks like number 13, Nathan Wilkerson, the leading receiver, season reception number 17, and he's averaging about that many yards per catch. He's got a long 75-yard touchdown catch to his credit already this year. So a third down conversion keeps things rolling for the Lancers. Up the middle on the handoff, good for 3 or 4.
Ball carrier number 11, Jared Russ.
3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Back up the middle it goes. Russ keeping the feet moving after he hands it off, making it appear to be a read option. See if they mix that in at any point tonight. 3:40 to go here in quarter number 1.
Don't want to jinx it, but clock moving continuously. It seems like a fast first quarter so far.
Yeah, mixed in 2 penalty flags even, but yeah, both teams like to keep it on the ground at least to this point. Flipped out to the near side here. Jared Russ moves the sticks inside the 35 to the 33.
First 10 Lancers, balls on the 34-yard line.
North Scott will mix things up again here. Play clock down to 3, and they just get it off. On the read option, Stronskis kept it that time. Nowhere to go. Make it a 2-yard loss. 1.5 yards, we'll call it. North Scott's offense, with the positive plays, have gotten to the line quickly. It really limits the substitution opportunities for Hempstead. We'll see how that plays into the Mustangs' conditioning. Gobbled up at the 30. It'll be another 3rd and long here for the Lancers, who are on the march. Two wide receivers out to the right and only 1 DB. There you go. Make it 3 wide receivers to the right now. Stronskis looked the other way. It was going to be a misdirection screen and a big hit in the backfield. Lucas Trilk, I believe. I take that back. It might have been Johnny Miller. Illegal shift on North Scott. Stronskis in the backfield adds injury to insult, I suppose. Penalty is declined. Result of the play was a loss, so it'll be 4th and 12.
Well, before that snap, I was going to say it was definitely 4-down territory. I don't know that they were in field goal range, but now.
Well, offense is staying out there. We'll see if they elect to take a timeout or what they want to do here. 1:30 to go in the quarter. Play clock hasn't even started yet. And now we've got a false start to go with it. This one's an easy one to accept for Coach Hoskins.
Oh, 4th and 18 at this spot.
And now we got a backward snap. Yep, that's probably the right thing to do. You don't want to risk a turnover and just take your medicine a little bit. Mustangs will take over at the 45.
Hempstead ball on the Lancer 45.
Obviously, I'm not a football coach, but I'm not sure why you wouldn't just punt it there. 4th and 18 at the 41. That's a long way to go.
As in girl, 2-1.
I'm not sure why either, to be honest with you, Tim. It's a one-possession game. It's their first crack at offense on the road, and
XBJ.
You think about what the worst-case scenario was. I think that was probably it for North Scott there. Snap over the quarterback's head and
4-2-0.
no chance to even convert.
first play for the Mustangs in the ensuing possession is a 6-yard run for Marshawn Crowder.
Ball carrier Marshawn Crowder carried the ball down to 39 for the Mustangs. Second down, 4 yards to go.
Crowder will keep it and flip it. Whoa, missed his man. Imhoff able to scoop it up and sort of make the first man miss.
It's a very fortunate bounce for the Mustangs.
He got 3 yards out of that, believe it or not.
Yeah, I think Imhoff and Crowder just got a little too far apart for that pitch, and it was just too far to pitch it out there. And
I think that initial contact slowed Imhoff down a little bit. He came to the sideline, and Lucas Trilk will run out there now in his spot.
But boy, fortunate to get any positive yardage out of that.
Brings up 3rd and 1. Crowder will hand it to the first. Nope, he won't. Spoke too soon. Look at him. Split the defense. Crowder's off to the races. And just like that, it's Mustangs 13, North Scott 0. Crowder sold me on the fake on a 3rd and inches, decided to keep it. Had the defense fooled and was into the secondary after just a few steps. Just a few seconds remaining here in the first quarter, and the Mustangs extend their lead. A 36-yard touchdown run for Marshawn Crowder, his second of the night. Oh, bad snap, and Mustangs at least had a plan B. It did not come to fruition. Russell Allison couldn't bring it in. It more or less looked like Frederick couldn't handle the snap. It didn't look great, but it wasn't awful either. So we'll stay at 13 zip and take another quick timeout to wrap up the first quarter. Mustangs in front here on homecoming. Welcome back to Dalzell Field. John Denham and Tim O'Neill here on what's turning into a beautiful Friday evening. Quite a bit of rain over the last couple days, but none in the forecast tonight. A comfortable 70 degrees at kickoff. 7.5 seconds to go here before we switch directions. Last one was near the goal line. See what Luke Noonan can do with this one. It will also clear the goal line. And so the Lancers will start from the 20. Presumably run one play before we put the first quarter in the books. Stanskis back in the pistol formation. Fakes the handoff, flips it out here to the near side. Cole Rollinger will clear the 25. They did stop the clock out of bounds, so time for another play here to end the first quarter. keeper this time for Stanskis, and he will have enough for the first down. 12 minutes in the books. And the host Mustangs are in front after a pair of Marshawn Crowder rushing touchdowns. We'll take a break, switch ends, and be back. John Denham and Tim O'Neill after a short break here at thonline.com.
We here at GoFindMyCar.com are searching for a fresh new look to represent the services we offer. We held an open casting call to anyone to help us out.
Cooking up some great deals.
Can't find a car in any of the local literature?
Well, you can have my bow.
I and my axe.
And my website, GoFindMyCar.com.
We're still searching for the fresh new look for GoFindMyCar.com.
For Stanskis, as we start the second quarter, Lancers one possession in the first quarter and came up empty. Stanskis going to air one out here to the near sideline, took a shot as he got rid of it, and all he was doing was throwing it away. Max Unmocked was the one who made contact as Stanskis let it fly. Stanskis is going to remember that one. 2nd and 10. And the senior QB peeks back over to the sideline. Empty backfield this time. Stanskis going to go to the left. Caught there, looked like Ben Studding.
And obviously this is an important possession for North Sky. You don't want to give Hempstead a chance to get two out in front. String together a drive here. Tire out the Hempstead defense and then kind of set it up for your team to make a comeback. I know it's only 13 points, but can't give Hempstead too much of a chance to get rolling.
It's only your second possession, and you got to decide whether you're going to try and move the chains or take a shot. Mix it up a little bit here, and miscommunication. Actually, Mason Ambort had a step on his guy. If Stanskis holds on to that for another second and just flips it out to center field, it's off to the races. Instead, as you mentioned, Tim, they're gonna punt it away.
And certainly this is not the start that North Scott envisioned to this game.
Punting number 25, Cole Rollinger.
Low snap this time, but eventually punted away, and a flag. This is going to be an automatic first down. This is all for naught here, no matter what happens with Logan Zara. It's going to be the personal foul version and an automatic first down. So, we've already seen the Lancers be hurt by a targeting penalty of their own. This time the Mustangs punt block team a little overzealous. And so we'll walk off 15 yards here from that line of scrimmage. And it'll be right at midfield when it's all said and done with a fresh set of downs for North Scott.
First down, Lancers at the 50-yard line.
And obviously that's a huge break for North Scott. Maybe that's something they can use to get momentum going for the Lancers and put something together here.
Mustangs did when they got their second chance. Now a nice 8-yard run to start the most recent set of downs.
On the tackle, number 6.
Jared Russ that time.
Number 52, Max Unlock. Second down, 2-yard goal.
And obviously a penalty like that can go both ways. It can give the offense a spark, but it can also deflate the defense. You know, you had a punt there, you were getting the ball back, and now all of a sudden they got a fresh set.
Yeah, I'm not sure North Scott has run the same play twice tonight. You know, we're a little bit used to seeing Hempstead starting the same formation and mix things up. North Scott, I mean, they've got a small army of coaches over there telling what each position group what to do, but I haven't seen them run the same play yet. And maybe the same formation 2 or 3 times here in their first 2 drives. So back to the pistol this time. Stanskis turns and hands off. Jared Russ, listed at 6'1", 200, the junior, going forward for a ball.
Second down, 6 yards to go. The ball's on the 35-yard line of Mustang.
Stanskis back to pass here on 2nd and 6. Going to go to the near sideline, and Crowder in the neighborhood.
Incomplete pass, 3rd down.
9.5 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. Crowder putting together a nice little ballot for maybe TH Athlete of the Week. You can go to thonline.com/athlete to nominate and vote each week.
Boy, I tell you what, we got our first submission for that one last night. Senior played last night down in Davenport. 56-13 win. Sam Schnee, 170 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
Senior picks up its 2nd win in its district opener.
Off the left side, Stanskis with the read option, tucked it and took off. He is right at the 20-yard line for the Lancers.
The closer North Scott gets to the end zone, the more that penalty looms large on that Hempstead defense.
Stanskis going to air one out here to the near side. It is a forward pass, thankfully, for Stanskis. Never really had a chance, to be honest. I'm wondering if at some point Stanskis goes down the middle. If the offensive coach is here up in the box for North Scott, it was mistimed, and it was a miscommunication and kind of a blown play, but that was open for the taking if they can spread the Mustangs secondary out a little bit. Handoff this time is to Russ. Flag back near the line of scrimmage.
The hold will cancel that out.
So it'll be 2nd and 20.
Second down, 20 yards to go. Ball's on the 30-yard line of Mustang.
Trips left this time. Ball near the left hash mark. Stanskis, play action, pump, and 2nd look is caught inside the 10 on the far sideline. I believe it's Mason Ambort. That's his 3rd catch of the year, and he was the one who was open down the middle earlier. So North Scott adds another wrinkle. Play action, pump fake, and down the sideline. 1st and goal from the 5. Plenty of time on the play clock here. After these positive plays, North Scott likes to go again right away. Stanskis turns and hands off. Couple yards going forward. And a late flag. This is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct. And just like that, North Scott is going to back up 15 yards. Everybody on the Mustangs defense knew it. Everyone on the North Scott sideline knew it. You mentioned the penalty that kept this drive going for the Lancers earlier, Tim. This one, after creeping inside the 5, may come back to bite them too.
Yeah, at this point it looks like a big penalty right on the doorstep, and now
Second down,
17 no hopes for a first down.
17-yard line. Mustang.
8.5 minutes to play here in the first half. Still just the second possession of the game for North Scott. Turned it over on downs after a sloppy end to their first drive. Donskis rolls to the near side and overthrew his man, Cole Rollinger. So after watching the Mustangs hold the ball for the better part of the first quarter, North Scott has had it for 4 minutes here in the second quarter and the tail end of the first quarter as well.
Based on them going for it on fourth down on the other end, kind of makes you wonder if they don't get it here, are they going to go for it, or are they going to try a field goal?
They have not attempted a field goal all year, according to my sheet. And it might be another illegal shift.
Off here, number
It is.
Jared Russ, tackled by number 56. Philip Ball. Illegal motion called on North Scott.
Looks like they'll decline it though.
PATs, Colin Fairfield for the Lancers, 12 out of 12. Field goal attempts, I don't see any listed. Even attempted, let alone converted. So after a Hempstead penalty, back inside the 15, and here is the field goal unit. To the best of my knowledge, this is the first attempt of the year. It'll be a 31-yard attempt from the left hash mark. With the wind, up and in.
Field goal is good by number 4. Colin Fairfield.
Fairfield knocks through his first of the year.
Lancers 3.
.7:44 to play, and North Scott has some points on their second drive of the night.
Obviously for North Scott that's not ideal, but better than nothing. You know, at least they got on the board, something to build on. And for Hempstead now it's just time to go back to work. Score again, build that lead again.
Yeah, now any points with a sustained drive will leave little time on the clock in you're already at a two-possession game, so just, yeah, like you said, try and add to it. Manage it all at the same time. North Scott has scored 21, 28, 28, and 13 points all year in their 4 games.
Back game number 2, Johnny Miller, number 3. Jay Collins, number 7, Brennan Imhoff.
Short kick. It'll be Imhoff from the 7. Through traffic and through the wedge. Imhoff takes off. He's got one man to beat. 25, 20, 10, 5, and down. Oh, he's lost the ball. He lost the ball inside the 5. And who's going to come up with it? We'll wait for the indication from the official.
I mean, he had to have been down on the ground before he fumbled, right?
Still no indication. And the referee's on their way over. I'm holding out till I see 2 hands in the air. And it is a touchdown Mustangs. The beanbag dropped inside the 5, so he believed it was a fumble, and he was right by the pylon and had a great look. So Imhoff will not get credit for a kickoff return. Tim, I didn't even see who came out of the pile. We've got the replay on the board, and they just took it down.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either. Number 12, Blake Frederick was the last one there, but I didn't see him hand the ball to the referee or anything like that. That's something that that'll be clarified in postgame.
Okay, we have a Aruba Buick LeSabre, license number ENR 9.
Luke Noonan will try and tack on the extra point.
Toyota Camry.
Into the wind, it is good. And North Scott
Black Chevy Bell.
heads back to the sideline after being punched in the mouth on the kickoff return. You build a little momentum on your second possession, then you turn around and give it right back with Brennan Imhoff let's call it a 93-yard return for him, and we'll check maybe at halftime on who gets credit for the touchdown. .7:27 to play, and the Mustangs kickoff team will trot out.
Getting off for the Mustang, number 30, Luke Noonan.
.20-3 after the extra point. Noonan will back up and kick it away into the wind here in the second quarter. Shortest kick of the night for him from the 9. Going to be up the near sideline here. Wilkerson made a couple guys miss. And look at who's in on the tackle, losing his helmet. Luke Noonan, the kicker, comes together with Max Unmocked at the 25.
Don't forget to get your 50/50 raffle tickets. $1 each or 20 for $5. Circulation of the tickets going through the aisle right now, so 50/50 raffle tickets. $1 for one, $5, 20.
Another flag in the play, flipped out here to the near side for North Scott on first down, and a second flag, so we'll see if these are offsetting or if they're going to have to pick between the two.
Rollinger, flag on the play. Tackle made by number 22, Riley Hauser.
Illegal shift and a hold.
So first and 15, I would imagine
Penalties on the play, illegal shift and also holding.
the pre-snap one, because they actually would probably end up at about the same spot after you walked off the holding call.
The holding happened there about the 29.
Yeah, it was here after the catch was made
Okay.
by that second receiver. And it looks like they will accept the holding penalty and get an extra yard out of it, I suppose. So first and 16.
First down, 16 yards to go. The ball's on the 19-yard line.
Timeout taken by the Lancers. I was curious what direction they were going to go with that, and they decide to call a timeout. 6:54 to play, and we'll keep it here. Interesting, this is one of those games where second half adjustments, I mean, obviously it plays a factor in every game, but just based on the number of formations that North Scott throws out, we saw them have success on the offensive side of the ball. Sometimes they limit Hempstead to substitutions, or no substitutions. Sometimes they've shot themselves in the foot and gone backwards. I'm curious what the Hempstead defense does in the second half here, or maybe even on the fly after a timeout here midway through the second quarter, and see what North Scott does in terms of play calling in the second half. We know what to expect a little bit from the Hempstead offense, but if North Scott's going to get back in this, they're going to have to get in the end zone and not just knock through field goals. 20-3 here with 7 minutes to play. Off the left side, a handoff and a little bit of room to work. Back past the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 9 after the Rollinger run.
Tackle made by number 63 for the Mustangs.
And really, if North Scott can get some points on this drive, get something before halftime. That would be a huge boost going in the locker room. And then obviously they get the ball to start the second half. So they got a chance to climb right back into the game.
Sure. Keeper this time for Stanskis. Going to make it 3rd and short. We'll call it 3rd and a long 3.
Ball carrier number 2, Sam Strakas. Tackle made by number 2, Johnny Miller, number 22. Riding 1 yard. 3rd down, 4 yards to go.
Stanskis from the pistol. And North Scott goes nowhere. The Hempstead front 4 in the backfield to push him back a yard on 3rd down. Make it a yard and a half. So now we'll get the punt team for North Scott. Last time they did this, it was a low snap.
You got to bet somebody talked to the special teams unit here, not to touch the punter this time.
End over end punt. Miller will let it bounce. Nope, he's going to pick it up at the 29 and really go nowhere. Just saving the extra bounces at that point. 5:07 to play, and the Mustangs will get it back.
Hempstead takes over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
So the Mustangs will start from the 28. Crowder back under center. Just a little dive play straight up the middle. And looked like it was Alex Ward this time.
Ball carrier number 6, Alex Ward. Tackle made by number 60, Wyatt.
Mac Roush will bring the play in this time. Toss out to the left for Trilk. Makes the first man miss and near 1st down yardage at the 38. Let's see where they mark it. And that will be enough. 1st down. Clock will stop briefly to move the sticks.
Well, we got a chance. The Darlington machine just keeps rolling in Southwest Wisconsin. 49-0, 4:09 left in the 2nd quarter up there.
Wow, you got to believe there's a special teams or a defensive touchdown in there somewhere. I don't think you can go 3 and out that many times in the first half. Crowder turns and tosses to Collins, and he made the most of it to get back to the line of scrimmage. You'd have to be running pass plays. You said 49?
49-0.
Wow, 7 touchdowns through 2 quarters.
And the tweet I saw, they had already pulled the first team. Second team is now in, so.
So 2nd, and we'll call it 11. Looks like Collins technically lost the yard. Crowder going to keep it on the read option, and that's going to be a completed pass, but it's going to go for no gain. I can't imagine the offensive coaches were thrilled to see Crowder flip that end over a defender. If that hits the ground, I'm actually curious to see what the referees would do there. I would call that as a statistician a forward pass for no gain.
I got to imagine they'll talk about that when it's done.
So 3rd and 11, 3:20 to go here in quarter number 2. John Denham and Tim O'Neill live at Dalzell Field at thonline.com/live. Hopefully you've shared the link with family and friends. Crowder going to run away from the first man, up the right hash mark, tucks and runs. and trying to make something happen on third down, but comes up empty.
Boy, it looked like he wanted to throw it. The way that play ended up, maybe he should have.
Yeah, you know, with the pursuit coming, I think that would probably have been the wise choice, even if it's into the first row or over the North Scott bench. He got gobbled up by 3 different defenders, and that's risky for Crowder from the quarterback position. You got a 17-point lead. You got to live to fight another day there. Clock running with 2:35 to go now in quarter number 2. Luke Noonan will punt. Sky-high punt from Noonan, and look out, Lancers getting out of the way. It'll bounce inside the 25, inside the 20, and be downed there.
Lancers take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
North Scott averages about 20 pass attempts per game, or between 15 and 20 pass attempts per game. I don't know, what do you have? Maybe I'm putting you on the spot here. What do you have Stanskis for at this point?
11 attempts.
Okay. So right about on pace in terms of the play calling, but still just those 3 points to show for it.
5 of 11 for 64 yards for Stanskis.
Air it out again to the slot this time. First man misses. This is Rollinger, the second favorite target of Stanskis. Actually, I take that back. I was only looking at Stanskis' pass attempts. When you mix in Niall McLaughlin, they're a little behind their pace, but with this possession should even it out. Back-to-back passes here, and the Mustangs missing on the first tackle on back-to-back plays. It's cost them from inside the 20 where North Scott started, now after 2 plays out to the 39-yard line. Hurry up offense here for North Scott. They've got 2 timeouts left and 1:38 to work with. Clock will start running now that the sticks have been moved. Precious seconds ticking away here for North Scott, who trail on the road. Play action. Stanskis looked like he wanted to keep it up the middle. Instead, he'll air it out here on the near sideline and out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. 2nd and 10 with 1:16 to go. Still 2 timeouts to work with.
Halftime in Epworth, Pleasant Valley leads Western Dubuque 15-8. Another Class 4A District 6 opener, same district as these teams. So big time matchup out there in Epworth. WD coming off a big win over Cedar Falls, and Pleasant Valley, the team picked by many to win the district.
Play action again from Stanskis. A little bit of room here on the near sideline. Late flag, and first down yards for Imhoff on the tackle here. Wilkerson was the man who received it, so they'll spot the ball at the 25 temporarily.
Ineligible downfield.
And it wouldn't have been 13. It would have been whoever was trailing the play here was not lined up in as an eligible receiver. Don't have the luxury of the audio, so we're not sure the number. Got gobbled up here in front of the Hempstead bench, so I missed it as well. But 1:07 to go. So we'll wipe away the first down, make it 2nd and 15. I like the North Scots taking a chance.
Yeah, need to do something before halftime, because the first half is going to leave a sour taste in their mouth if they go in the way they go in, the way it is right now.
Run here to the near side for Russ, and he will stop the clock after 5 yards, so 3rd and 9. I got to imagine, depending on how third down goes here, the North Scott would at least take a shot on 4th down and move the sticks. We'll see. Little bunch formation here on the right side of the line for North Scott. runs this way. Stanskis back across the middle. Nobody home there. So it'll be 4th and 9, and this may be time to just punt it away with the wind and go in down 17.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think you can afford to go for it. If you fail, it's such a short field for Hempstead that it would only take them a couple of plays.
Yeah, that's how they scored that first touchdown, or maybe it was the second one.
Number 2, Johnny Miller. Kicking number 25, Cole Rollinger.
Now the question becomes, what's Hempstead going to do with the ball? You know, are they content to run it a couple of times and go to half with a 17-point lead?
I think so. I think you put it on the ground. You can still do your misdirection. Maybe you catch a crease like Crowder did, and now you got a flag here. That was silly. That's the center, Jack Russell, just giving a big two-handed shove with a bouncing punt coming to a rest behind him.
And now you definitely send it to halftime.
We have an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Goes against the Mustangs.
Feeling good on homecoming in front of the big crowd, and I don't know what happened. Jack Russell there just didn't like the way the Lancer looked at him or something. The play was essentially over. Mustangs will back up and start from their 13 now. .45 ticks left. Johnny Miller off the left side gets dumped for a loss of 5. Ball came loose after the whistle. That's one way to get your team back in it if you're the North Scott defense. Force a fumble here.
Yeah, boy, that would be huge for North Scott and for Hempstead. That'd get them a chewing out in the locker room at halftime.
They're going to take one knee here, and that's going to do it. After seeing a penalty and a negative rush, Coach Hoskins going to cut his losses here. I shouldn't say they're going to take a knee. They're going to run one more run play and then head to the locker room. Crowder will take a knee, and that'll do it. 24 minutes in the books. A couple Crowder rushing touchdowns and a crazy kickoff return. Missed PAT to put the Mustangs at 20, and a 31-yard field goal for the Lancers midway through the second quarter. And that's how we'll head to the locker room. Mustangs 20, North Scott Lancers 3. Here at the break, John Denham and Tim O'Neill back to start the second half after the homecoming court and band do their thing here at thonline.com.
We here at GoFindMyCar.com are searching for a fresh new look to represent the services we offer. We held an open casting call to anyone to help us out.
Cooking up some great deals.
Can't find a car in any of the local literature?
Well, you can have my bow
I and my axe.
and my website, GoFindMyCar.com.
We're still searching for the fresh new look for GoFindMyCar.com.
Summer strength and conditioning and the badminton club. Next we have Holly Bitter, the daughter of Tom and Steph Bitter. Through her 4 years at Hempstead, she's been involved in soccer, basketball, National Honor Society, student ambassadors, executive council, Key Club, and Spanish Club. Next we have Johnny Miller, the son of Ed and Tracy Miller. Johnny's been involved in football, track and field, basketball, strength and conditioning club, freshman retreat, and the Green Dot program. Next is Mac Roush, the son of Doug and Kim Roush. Mac's been involved in football, basketball, track, Green Dot, Green Team, Pride Club, National Honor Society, Executive Council, and Strength and Conditioning Club. Next we have Lily Caceres, the daughter of Patricia and Honorio Caceres. She'd been in theater, speech contest, cheer, tennis, student senate, French club, Spanish club, tutoring after school, and a member of the National Honor Society. Next we have Brennan Imhoff, the son of Eric and Twyla Imhoff. Brennan's been involved in football, basketball, baseball, PBIS, and freshman retreat. Next is Kayla Felderman, the daughter of Kevin and Melissa Felderman. She's been involved in Senate, Executive Council, National Honor Society, Key Club, cross country, volleyball, soccer, and the badminton club. Next is Tyler Cooksley, the son of Matt and Amy Cooksley. Tyler's been involved in basketball, baseball, student senate, Green Dot Club, freshman retreat. Next is Abby Harbin, the daughter of Nate and Karen Harbin. Abby's been involved in soccer, cross country, Green Dot, Pride Club, and the freshman respect retreat during her time here at Hempstead. Next we have Landon Kramer, the son of Corey and Jessica Kramer. Landon's been involved in football, wrestling, tennis, Green Dot, strength and conditioning. Next is Megan Oberfeld, the daughter of Dan and Laura Oberfeld. She's been involved in Key Club, Pride Club, PBIS Club, volleyball, cross country, and tennis. Next is Max Unlock, the daughter of Max, the son of Dan and Amy Unlock. In football, baseball, executive council, yearbook, NHS, newspaper. RYLA attendee, dance marathon, student ambassadors, National Honor Society, and freshman. The son of Keisha and Anthony Crowder. Marshall has been involved in football, basketball, track, Green Dot, Pride Club, and hopes to play baseball and wrestle in the future. And our queen for 2016, Murphy Blymeyer. Murphy's been involved in volleyball, basketball, track, DAYLC, National Honor Society, Senior Senate, Mustang Pride Club, the Badminton Club, and the Volleyball Club. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2016 homecoming Queen King in their court. Marching band program to produce an entertaining musical and visual spectacle. This year the band is performing music from Andrew Lloyd Webber's Broadway hit Jesus Christ Superstar. The band will be performing full production, including Heaven on Their Mind, Superstar, Everything's Alright, Hosanna, I Don't Know How to Love Him, John 1941, and Jesus Christ Superstar. Drum majors Lily Reese, Jamie Chong, and Eliza Lee. Is your band ready for your performance? Mustang Marching Band, take the field.
Don't you wish you could teach fantasy football class?
Oh, I know. It's like knuckleball.
Oh, yeah.
They used to do that all the time.
Did they?
Until they're making copies.
Dennis, what's up, man? I saw Dano up there. I said, Dano? Yeah, you're right. I'm We need more ringers next year, like Greg Gotcha. We need more Greg Gotcha. No, he's playing at a different we got rained out of our game yesterday, and the field was too wet to practice today. And we got 5 practices left. We play a game next Thursday, no school Friday, and our game that was supposed to be this Thursday is getting made up on Monday. Yeah. Well, it's a makeup. It's a makeup. It's a makeup.
They don't worry about it so much anymore. I suppose you could hear.
Washington was really strong. We got over 40s, Nate Williams. That's really good stuff. Roosevelt's down numbers-wise a lot. I think Jeff's about the same.
Jeff's usually. They probably have one team that is.
Yeah. We got one team where he's right now, a big team. We didn't lose a couple. We had some kids that Brandon Larson is on next quarter, so we just lost a couple kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like a cell phone, step ring, broken out. Like kids like sneaking under kid pocket combination, sneaking up ring. Yeah, our kids can't take them to the classroom. They have to lock them in their lockers, and these kids are quiet as
Marching band is under the direction of Mr. Gregory A. Dow. The percussion instructor is John Garr. Color guard writer and instructor is Michael Hernandez. The Mustang Marching Band thanks the following people for their continuing support. Mustang Band parents, Hempstead Booster Club, Wanda Wallace, and the administration of Hempstead High School for all their support. Let's give another big hand to these young people and their music.
again, Tim O'Neill here for the Telegraph Herald, and more specifically, thonline.com/live. Thanks for joining us here on your Friday evening. The North Scott Lancers trail the host Mustangs on Hempstead's homecoming 20-3. Tim, it was a big first quarter for Hempstead, and only 3 points to show for it for North Scott in that second quarter. Your reaction to the first 24 minutes is?
Well, for my first chance seeing Hempstead, it was a nice first half for Hempstead. They were able to get the job done on offense, and defensively they were able to get off the field when they had to, with the exception of that field goal drive. By my count, that was an 18-play, 78-yard drive that went all the way down to the 2 before they got backed up and had to go for that field goal. So you take that one drive away, and the Hempstead defense done a really nice job tonight, forcing North Scott into 3rd and long and then 4th and long situations. And when North Scott has gone for it on 4th down, they've been able to turn them over. Yeah,
and now that you think about it, the kick return really changes things too. I mean, if that's a touchdown instead of a field goal for North Scott, they're sitting at 6 or 7. And if Hempstead, at least for the time being, slows down and just doesn't put 7 more points back on the board, maybe it's a little closer on the scoreboard. It doesn't look like Hempstead is necessarily 17 points better, with the eyeball test, but you look up at the scoreboard and North Scott just hurt themselves inside the 5 there on that penalty, and Hempstead has been really efficient on the offensive side with their snaps. So that's where we sit as we get ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. Kudos to the Hempstead Marching Band. I thought they did great. It sounded like 2 or 3 songs from Jesus Christ Superstar, and I thought they sounded really, really good. Homecoming court. I know you tweeted out there a few minutes ago, Tim. Marshawn Crowder was last in line for this homecoming court for Hempstead, which means he's the 2016 homecoming king, and he's got 2 touchdowns tonight. Quite the evening for Marshawn Crowder.
Yeah, you might think that might even be the lead of my story tomorrow, but 2 first half touchdowns, obviously that's huge for him, and then personally to be named homecoming king. That's a nice honor bestowed upon by your peers. They vote in that, and at least they did when I went to Hempstead. But obviously a nice honor there to be named the homecoming king. And then and on top of that, what he's done tonight, and I know that that's just the start of what they hope to do tonight. So who knows, maybe if he scores 2 more touchdowns in the second half, boy, be a night to remember.
Yeah. He's played well. Like I said, I know you weren't here that night a couple weeks ago when it was raining, but the Hempstead coaching staff was just beside themselves. They couldn't believe the lack of execution and just very basic things in the 3rd. It wasn't like it was the first week, and Marshawn Crowder, you mentioned, didn't play quarterback last year. He was one of the flankers, and just you'd have thought it was week 1 in the way that they were turning the ball over, and they've had none of that here through 24 minutes on homecoming. So kudos to those guys for getting it together over the last couple weeks to get the offense going. Go ahead, sorry.
In a game like that, the game 2 weeks ago, I was out in Western Dubuque that night, and it was raining out there really bad. The tough thing about that is when you're playing a really good team in that kind of weather, it can turn ugly real quick. And out at Western Dubuque, Waterloo West scored a couple of touchdowns right before halftime, and we're able to turn that around. And reading here, it was just a matter of being able to hold on to the football really doomed Hempstead.
North Scott receives here to start the 3rd quarter, right to left. This is the direction the Mustangs went on their big kick return, and Wilkerson was trying to do the same. A solid return out to the 35, and that's where Stanskis and company will start.
Boy, the longer he went, the more it looked like he had a chance to break it. There was room in front of him, and nobody coming in to tackle him.
He slowed down a little bit in the heavy traffic midway through the wedge, and just needed to keep the feet moving at full speed. So trips right. We talked about adjustments a little bit midway through the second quarter. See how the Lancers come out here, end around, and gobbled up right away. Nowhere to go for Rollinger. And Trilk gets credit for the tackle.
If I'm a North Scott coach, I might look at throwing the ball more. The Lancers had 59 rush yards on 20 carries. 85 yards through the air on 15 attempts. So, you know, there's room in the passing game if they can consistently complete passes. Excuse me.
Backwards on the first rushing play of the half, and then forwards for 4 or 5 more. Near the original line of scrimmage, but another 3rd and long here for the Hempstead defense. The front 4 has been pretty good for Hempstead. It's just a matter of keeping your assignments out wide for the North Scott passing attack. Zipping one in with room over the middle. Wilkerson going to switch hands. He's got a block inside the 40, and he'll trot out of bounds at the 33. A 3rd down conversion for North Scott, a well-designed play. Stanskis couldn't wait to get rid of it, and there's a flag in the backfield. There's going to be roughing the quarterback. I got to believe Lancers will just decline it. I missed the initial indication, but there was no hesitation for the referee to escort the first down markers down the field. Roughing the passer is declined. 1st and 10 from the Hempstead 33, so less than 2 minutes in here, and North Scott off to a good start. Not sure what the discussion was on the far side from the North Scott coaching staff.
I think.
Oh yeah, they're going to add it on to the end of the play. Yeah.
I was just going to remark, it seemed odd to me that roughing the passer would not be a penalty that would add on. But the referee clearly signaled that they had declined it, so I don't know what happened.
That
there.
explains what he was shouting about. No way did we decline it. We'd like our 15 yards. And so 1st and 10 from the red zone inside the 20. They start at the 19 and add 5 yards on 1st down. Inside the 15 they go. Stanskis had Jared Russ in his left pocket and will not get the play off. Offside on the defense. Add 5 more yards, so 2nd and inches. After they walk off these 5 yards, I'm guessing. Should be just short of a 1st down. Same formation. Russ to the left side of Stanskis. Stanskis will keep it and get brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Russell dumps him for a loss of 2. That was enough for a 1st down to get inside the 10. So 2nd and goal now from back outside the 10. Handoff this time. Ross hit hard after he spun. Got a few yards. That was risky. Go off the right guard and spin back towards the middle of the field with a linebacker bearing down on you.
If you're hungry for a brat, brats are now $1 off.
9:20 to go here in quarter number 3. Lancers empty the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the right. 3 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Play clock hasn't even started yet. There we go. On 3rd and goal. Big play here for the Lancers. Going to toss it back to the right side, and a flag coming in. Might be roughing the passer again. This is not going to be enough for a touchdown. It is roughing the passer again. So this is going to be an automatic 1st down. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 1.
That'll be 1st down. Half the distance to the goal for the Lancers. Here's the winning number for the 50-50 raffle again. Red ticket 063796. If you have that ticket, report to the east ticket window, which is the main entrance.
So first and goal for North Scott. Full house backfield this time. Oh, and a good tackle. Who is that? The big man, number 78, Tyrell Saunders. Grabbed Russ by the between the ones on his jersey and hauled him down at the 2. Not so fast, my friend. Full house backfield again. Ball's in the middle of the field. Stanskis will hand it off this time to the left side. Tripped up and not quite in. That's a big swipe of the right hand. Jordan Kemp tripped him up at about the 5. And now it's third and goal from the inside the 1. They'll be in the left hash mark. Still the bunch formation, or the full house backfield, excuse me. And now a bad snap. Stanskis going to try and make something happen. Scrambles around, still on his feet, and he'll be dumped at the 9.
Just disaster on that play from North Scott.
I understand the multiple formations and mixing things up, but the full house backfield is the first time we saw it, and it went nowhere on first and second down. They stuck with it on third down, and now they're going to call a timeout before they decide what to do here on fourth down. Certainly could use the 6 points instead of 3. They are kicking into the wind in this direction, and they had not attempted a field goal until tonight, so I got to believe they're going to take their chances.
Timeout is North Scott's timeout.
Here on fourth and goal from the 9.
I understand feeling like you got to get a touchdown, but there's also that saying, you got to take the points when you got a chance.
Yeah, that's true too.
You know, if you kick it here, you make it 20-6. At that point, it's a 14-point game, 2 possessions.
I don't think there's any discussion, though. The offense has been in the huddle here with the coaching staff the entire time during this timeout. Maybe you got a play in the book that's worked over the first 4 weeks that you think, you know, if you're going to go for it, you got to go with your best play right now, your best passing play. Maybe leave one guy in the backfield, spread them out with the other ones, and the leading receiver is Wilkerson. Russ also has 2 touchdown catches, so we'll see what they do. Stops his feet, throws it in the end zone, and it is broken up. It'll be a turnover on downs on the first possession of the third quarter for North Scott.
And that's the problem with going for it, is you have that long drive, it's your second best possession of the night, and you got nothing to show for it.
So back under center goes Crowder. Up the middle go the Mustangs. Nothing doing there. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage.
Ball carrier number 2, Johnny Miller. Tackle by number 44, Max Pino.
Max Benno on the tackle. Second and 10. Now they're going to give him 2 yards. We'll call it second and 8.
Ball carrier number 15, Marshawn Crowder.
Crowder keeps it this time. Makes it third and short. Let's call it third and 4.
Third down, 4 yards to go. The ball's on the 15-yard line.
See what the Mustangs do, if they keep it on the ground or go to the air. I'm not sure they know. Timeout called by Coach Hoskins. First timeout of the half used by Hempstead, so 1 timeout apiece here halfway through the third quarter.
That's a timeout by the Mustangs.
And now, you know, if Hempstead can march downfield, score a touchdown with this, go a long way to putting this game away.
It's a big, yeah, you're right. It's a big third down play for Hempstead as well, and I think Coach Hoskins realizes that. At least at this point, he's not going to need them late in the fourth quarter, so get a good play in here and keep the momentum on your side. Nothing doing there. Hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Bodies everywhere. Helmet on the ground from Trilk. And so the Mustangs will punt it away. Noonan will do it again. Kicked it away anyway. And a semi-sarcastic fair catch signal from Cole Rollinger at the midfield line.
Ball start, Mustangs.
Mustangs getting a little antsy. So now from his own end zone, Noonan.
That was the 7th accepted penalty on Hempstead tonight.
Out to midfield. Scott calls everybody off. And Mustangs will down it just shy of midfield. So North Scott will get it back and start in Hempstead territory. So an important 3 and out from their perspective.
And perhaps more importantly, a short field too. This, without looking at
this, quick strike would go a long way here. Back to the ground they go, and a good powerful run from Jared Russ.
Walker, number 11, Jared Russ. Tackle made by number 2, Johnny Miller, number 44, Logan Rivas.
Trips right, and they'll stay on the ground. Russ, a little bit of room to work with, and a good tackle by Imhoff. Russ is mad at himself because if he stays upright, he's got a decent chance to get around Imhoff. And there was nobody left on this side of the field.
For the Lancers at the Mustang 36-yard line.
Down the middle, this is the one that was open earlier and just off target from Stanskis. 4:45 to play. It'll be 2nd and 10 after the first down. Option for Stanskis, and he'll keep it. He has enough for a first.
Walker, number 2, Daniel Stanskis.
Mason Ambord, I believe, was the Lancer who ran by, and Stanskis may have changed his mind at the last second. It took quite a bit of effort to keep the handoff to himself there. 4:37 to play with the Lancers marching, trying to cut into the Hempstead lead. Off the right side. Pretty good open field tackle. Russ gobbles up 5 more.
Yeah, they're really starting to move it with a lot more ease right now on this possession.
Yeah, we talked about the adjustment. It looked like they wanted to go to the air, test the Mustangs defense to start the second half. And they did it with limited success. Now they've gone back to the ground. mixing in, you saw him go down the middle the one time, mixing in a couple of shots through the air. Another handoff to Russ.
Ball carrier number 11, Jared Russ. Tackle made by number 64, Jack Russell. Third down, 3 yards to go. Ball's on the 15-yard line of Mustang.
In the pistol now. Stanskis pulls it back. Pump fake and open in the end zone. Wide open in the end zone. First touchdown of the night. Mason Ambort. North Scott waited them out and got their first 6 of the night. 3:26 to play. And we'll see what North Scott does here on the PAT. Colin Fairfield already knocked through a 31-yard field goal tonight. He's listed as 12 for 12 on the year on his PATs. Up and in. Colin Fairfield knocks it through. Mustangs 20, Lancers 10. We'll take a break and be back here at Dalzell Field. Welcome back to Dalzell Field. John Denham and Tim O'Neill tonight. Got a good one brewing here. Mustangs controlled the first half. And now the Lancers have put up their first touchdown of the night to make it 20-10, and now a high onside kick bobbled and recovered near midfield. It was the well-disguised shallow fly ball. Lancers got what they wanted in terms of the bobble, or inability to catch it clean from the Mustangs, but unable to fall on the loose ball. So Hempstead will start actually pretty much exactly where North Scott started their last scoring drive, the Hempstead 48. Crowder will keep it and breaks 2 tackles up the left sideline, gets a block. Crowder off to the races, makes a move with the 15, and Marshawn Crowder's got a hat trick. Third rushing touchdown of the night, and it comes on 1st and 10 after North Scott was within 10.
52-yard touchdown run by number 50, Marshawn Crowder.
52 yards, and Marshawn Crowder is responsible for 18 of Hempstead's 26 right now. Noonan out to tack on the extra point. Better snap and hold this time. It is good. And with 3:12 to play in the third quarter, the Hempstead Mustangs get back to a 17-point lead. We'll take a timeout and be back here at Dalzell Field.
We here at GoFindMyCar.com are searching for a fresh new look to represent the services we offer. We held an open casting call to anyone to help us out.
Cooking up some great deals.
Can't find a car in any of the local literature?
Well, you can have my bow.
I and my axe.
And my website, GoFindMyCar.com.
We're still searching for the fresh new look for GoFindMyCar.com.
Welcome back to a breezy Dalzell Field. First Friday night of fall 2016.
Back game number 13, game focus on number 25, Cole Robinson.
Lancers took a chance on the kickoff following their touchdown. left a little bit of a short field for the Mustangs. Marshawn Crowder took care of the rest. That's one for the highlight reel. Broke a couple tackles at the line of scrimmage, sprinted up the far sideline, made a move at the 15, and trotted in to give his team a 27-10 lead. Noonan kicks it away with the wind, and it'll be returned from the 2. Cut back at the 15, nowhere to go there. A spin and out to the 19. Goes Rollinger.
And Crowder has 104 yards on 10 carries for the Mustangs tonight.
Oh, is that all?
That's all.
I mean, obviously the 52 there helps, but he was well on his way. Stanskis rolls right, throws it here to the near sideline, and a good catch. Nathan Wilkerson does well with one of the Mustangs hanging off his back. Not quite enough for a first down, but a short 2nd and 3, we'll call it. Running play on 2nd and short, looks like enough for a first down. Russ did enough. And so from the 31, North Scott will get started. Near side after the misdirection. Nowhere to go at the left hash mark for Stanskis. He's had a few of those tonight. Pick yourself up in the backfield and flip it to the official. Head back and get the next play. 2:20 to go in the 3rd. Hempstead defense looking to force another 3rd and long. If Stanskis gets enough time, he's been pretty accurate. It's been the rushed, smoke screens and bubble screens that have really thrown him off like this. Set his feet that time. Wilkerson makes a move, and he's got space. Nope, tripped up. Lucas Trilk has done that a couple times now. Johnny Miller slow to get up here on the near sideline defensively. That'll move the sticks again on 2nd and long. Going out to the right side this time. Good timing pattern. Rollinger got his head turned around and will move the sticks again for North Scott. Russ this time off the right tackle. Falls forward for a few. Under 90 seconds now to go in the 3rd. North Scott will have the wind for the 4th quarter.
2nd down, 6 yards to go. Ball's on the 36-yard line of the Mustangs.
Play action this time. And a good catch and run. Oh, I thought the ball came loose there for a second on a big hit, but Rollinger making it 3rd and short.
Tackle made by the Mustang number 64, Jack Russell.
Russ this time keeps his head up, has first down yards, and is inside or near the Hempstead 20. Collision there. Trilk slow to get up. The smaller DBs here for Hempstead have done a good job tackling, but it's come at a price here. Trilk will head to the sidelines as Alex Ward heads over.
Nick Stevenson
Just an efficient drive for North Scott. Only got to third down once, and the one time they did, it was 3rd and 1. So picking up big yards on each play.
Play action. Tuck and run here for Stanskis. And he might have enough for another first down. Kind of a busted play, but they will put the markers away. 1st and goal from the 9. And that will actually do it for the 3rd quarter after they start the clock. 3 quarters in the books. Mustangs 27, Lancers 10. We'll take a break and be back for the 4th quarter here at thonline.com.
We here at GoFindMyCar.com are searching for a fresh new look to represent the services we offer. We held an open casting call to anyone to help us out.
Cooking up some great deals.
Can't find a car in any of the local literature?
Well, you can have my bow.
I and my axe.
And my website, GoFindMyCar.com.
We're still searching for the fresh new look for GoFindMyCar.com.
Welcome back to Dalzell Field. 1st and goal for North Scott. Dies in the backfield. Stanskis does his best and is held up at the 10. Empty backfield this time. Stanskis will keep it again and get dropped again.
And at this point, North Scott just needs any kind of points, even if it's just a field goal.
Yep.
Need to take a field goal this time.
Logan Rivas with a big hit that time defensively. Stanskis rolls right into the end zone, and did it get it?
What an amazing
What
catch.
a grab. Cole Rollinger, credited with 6, tucked it right into his left arm, elbow, and bicep with a Mustang defender in the neighborhood. 27-16, and game on here in the 4th quarter at Dalzell.
And obviously that's huge for the Lancers, gets them back in it, makes it a 10-point game pending the PAT, and doesn't allow the Mustangs to just coast onto the final.
I think the biggest thing for North Scott here, just based on the offense that Hempstead runs, is the fewer plays you can take to get in, the better. It was 2nd and goal when they got in. They didn't have to smash it up the middle a couple more times or worry about a penalty or do anything like that. This was 100% a result of a great individual effort. On the part of Cole Rollinger.
I'm not sure you'll see a better catch than that at the high school level.
I mean, Stanskis did what he needed to do. He put it out on the sideline side and led him that way, but I just wasn't sure if the referee felt he did enough to keep it off the turf, but he didn't hesitate, put his hands up.
Yeah, it looked like the ball made contact with the turf, but he had his arm underneath it. That was enough to give him credit for it. Obviously, You know, we couldn't see if the ball moved when he hit the ground or anything like that, but fabulous catch.
So North Scott went with the shallow pop fly, sort of smoke screen onside kick there. This time, Fairfield will kick it away. From the 3, Imhoff has room to the 35 and the 40, and tripped up there by the kicker, Fairfield. So not ideal for North Scott, but also not what happened earlier. I mean, you got to start kicking it away from Imhoff at some point also, which is, I'm sure, was part of the thinking on the last one when they just floated one up in the hopes of getting on the end of it. Got to kick it to the other side now, especially with the wind if you're Fairfield. Keeper this time from Crowder. And he falls forward for about 3. We'll see where forward progress puts him. Mustangs in no rush here with a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter. Would help if they got to the line a little bit faster. Play clock down to 3, and Crowder will go right away. Keeps it twice, spins away, makes a move, has first down yards, and Marshawn Crowder is feeling good tonight.
Tell you what, after he spun out of that first tackle, I started to think he was going to take it all the way.
He had a nice little burst of speed as he straightened himself out there, but tackled at the last level there in the secondary. He was always going to fake it up the middle. The read option left it up to him, and really, I think you got a key on him now if you're the North Scott defense. He's feeling pretty good right now. I don't think he's going to toss it unless he's got a man nose to nose with him. Ball came loose at the line of scrimmage, and it is North Scott football. North Scott picks it up. The big man on the bottom of the pile is number 60, Wyatt Wright.
And don't have to say it, but that's huge for North Scott.
Yeah, I mean, Marshawn Crowder may be feeling too good. I don't know if he left early. I happened to glance up at the scoreboard to check the clock. And by the time I got my head spun back around, it was a mess there at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you if he left early or what. I just saw, you know, he didn't have the ball as he came out, and then he dived in there and thought maybe there was a chance he had it, but number 60 came up there with it.
Empty backfield. Stotts is going to keep the momentum, and he's got, no, he doesn't. He had his man, Mason Ambort. Stanskis did his part, and Ambort will go kicking and screaming at himself to the sideline.
Because that was a touchdown.
Behind everybody. He's already got 1 touchdown tonight. Mason Ambort unable to bring it in Mustang territory. Empty backfield again for North Scott on 2nd and 10.
Think he'll be seeing that one in his dreams tonight?
Well, time will tell. 9:18 for him to figure it out or make up for it. Off the left side, turning the corner, Rollinger. He's going to get 3 yards, so 3rd and 7. And this is the part I like. I mean, each head coach has their own style and philosophy, and sometimes the personnel dictates exactly what you're doing. The part I like about the North Scott offense is now here on 3rd and 7, I'm not sure where they're going to go or what they're going to do.
Yep.
They've called everything from every formation, and so now as the Hempstead defense, you can't sit on one player or one formation and pin your ears back and go get them. You got to keep yourself honest here. Stotts gets to the near side and incomplete. It's skipped in to Wilkerson. So 4th down and decision time now. You've already benefited from the fumble by Hempstead at midfield. You drop the ball on 1st down on what would have been a quick strike touchdown. And now North Scott going to go right away.
And no hesitation.
On 4th and 7. Coach Hoskins wants the timeout. North Scott will need to get to the Hempstead 48. 9:09 to play. That's the second timeout used by Hempstead here in the second half. So you saw their first option was Wilkerson here. That was what they wanted to do on 3rd and long. Isolate Wilkerson, and allow your top receiver on the year to make a play. Now, on 4th down, we'll see what Sam Stanskis, the senior quarterback, does. Quick snap. Some of the offensive linemen didn't even move for North Scott. Got the snap count wrong. Stanskis down the middle and complete.
Flags. 2 flags.
Flags everywhere. It's a great catch, all things considered, by Tristan Akers. Question is, who's it? Yep, an eligible man downfield, so that will be accepted. Because the result of a play was a first down, Hempstead doesn't have a choice here. And now here comes the punt team for North Scott. No, you can't decline it. You want to accept the penalty and make them do 4th down over. Some of the Hempstead guys are lucky didn't get the Regis Philbin, is that your final answer? My goodness. That would have haunted the Mustang coaches as much as Ambort's drop will haunt him tonight. So 4th down.
And obviously that's a big break for Hempstead there.
Oh, and nearly a block. Oh, running into the kicker for sure. Is it going to be roughing the kicker? I'm not sure they make the distinction in high school, to be honest with you.
I think they do, but I don't think that's going to be. Oh, it is enough.
A personal foul, and 15 yards is going to be enough.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker.
I think that's what Coach Hoskins is saying, is that it wasn't nearly as violent as it could have been.
I mean, I'm no referee, but you ran into him there. That definitely did not look like roughing.
Well, Logan Revis is the guilty party, and his ears are going to be ringing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Hoskins, you know, he's kind of an old school guy, and he's not going to tread lightly when you make that kind of a mistake. Revis got an earful there for that mistake. First down at the 45 of Hempstead for North Scott, who now trails by 10. Cutting up field and gobbling up some yards, Jared Russ. Depending on what the Mustangs do on their next possession, you know, you want to say there's plenty of time, but there might not be, depending on what the North Scott defense and Hempstead offense do, regardless of what North Scott does here. You'd love to get in if you're North Scott for a full 6 with the wind. We'll see. Stanskis hands off this time. Russ has first down yards. I tell you what, Jared Russ, listed at 6'1", 200, just a junior. He looks like he could be a couple inches taller and another 15 pounds heavier.
He just hit the century mark, 100 yards on 23 carries tonight.
Gonna give it to him again. 4 more yards. And this starts to soften up the defense a little bit. Now the front 7 has their eyes on Russ for the first second and a half of every play. Stanskis will pass this time. A little pump fake, a little double move. Up the far sideline and in. Cole Rollinger has his second touchdown catch of the night. 27-23. PAT pending. Best throw of the night from Stanskis and Logan Rivas, the guilty man on the 4th down punt. North Scott capitalizes with 7:35 to play. Fairfield out for the PAT. Low snap. Holder did well there, and it is good. 27-24. We'll take a break. And back here at Dalzell after a short timeout. Welcome back to Dalzell Field. John Denham and Tim O'Neill going to bring you home here in a little non-conference district action. The North Scott Lancers have rebounded from a sloppy first quarter to get within 3 as the Mustangs offense has leaned heavily on Marshawn Crowder and benefited from a kick return. Touchdown to get to their lead. Fairfield will kick it away, just one man deep back there. It's going to be an in-between shot, and it's a live ball. It will go down to the 6. It'll be picked up there, and down right away goes Jax Dolan. I like the creativity in the kicking game from North Scott. Hempstead put just one man back, and Fairfield did well. Going to pin the Mustangs deep in their own territory. They'll start from their own 8-yard line.
And now this becomes the most important drive of the game for Hempstead.
One of the North Scott coaches came out and said something to one of the officials, and that official has gone over to the referee to either get a clarification or talk through something. It doesn't look like there's going to be much that comes of it other than a little quick discussion there for the referee. So Crowder goes under center. Play action. Oh, looked like the Mustangs wanted to take a shot. They will. Going to flip it out. Open here on the near side is Will Courtney, and he's got first down yards. This is what I was talking about with the variation in the offense from North Scott. Now the Mustangs mixing it up a little bit. It was a long time on the bench for the Mustangs offense after the turnover. Plenty to think about, and they decided to mix it up. Crowder play action on the first man through. Actually, his first option wasn't there as he wasn't able to set his feet, and there was a lot of traffic in front of him. Courtney was the second option, and it worked out. 7 minutes and counting down here with a fresh set of downs for the Mustangs. Crowder will keep it again. Flip it to Collins. Room to work on the right side. Collins around the first man and tripped up near midfield. Tate Collins was reaching top speed as he turned the corner, but tripped up on the far sideline. First down yards again. And this is the possession that matters for Hempstead.
Boy, that was a touchdown-saving tackle there. I think it was Benjamin Studding, number 5 for North Scott. Just got enough to take Collins' foot to bring him down. If he didn't get him there, I don't know. Tay might have taken it all the way.
He definitely had just one man to beat after that, and he had the angle and the foot speed to make it interesting for sure. Crowder under center. Going to keep it again. And will not flip it out. That was a wise choice. Take a 1-yard loss. Here's the difference. You've got a couple big plays that got the crowd into it here on homecoming, and you're moving the ball again after giving up a touchdown. But just like that, it's second and long. It's 2 plays aren't going to be enough, I guess, is what I'm getting at. They're going to have to continue to move the sticks and make plays if they're going to hold on and win this one.
And obviously Hempstead can win without scoring a touchdown on this possession, but a touchdown will go a long way.
Play clock down to 3. Crowder will give it to the first man through this time. Oh my goodness, Ward spun around and separated the ball from his body there. He's got to be careful in traffic. So it'll be 3rd and long. And this is the dilemma of the run 85% of the time offense. Even if you call a good play, the lack of attempts over the course of the season make you nervous as a Hempstead fan if they decide to throw it up here. A, is everybody going to run the right route? B, is Crowder going to pick out the right guy? And C, is it going to be executed from toss to catch? Yep, play clock was down to 0, and the final timeout of the half used by the Mustangs. They used 2 in that 3rd quarter, and now their last timeout is gone as well.
Got a final from the Rock Bowl. Davenport Assumption beat Wahlert 35-0. Class 3A action. Also saw Western Dubuque down 3, failed on 4th and 17 from the 35. Pleasant Valley took over, but Western Dubuque then recovered a fumble. Down 3, minute 37 left there. So
wow,
Bobcats got a chance to drive downfield and get a huge win to open up district play.
Big 3rd down play here for the Mustangs at Dalzell. Toss right, Tate Collins snags it, turns the corner, and has nowhere to go. It'll be 4th and 7 for Hempstead at midfield. Is this 4-down territory for Hempstead? Nope. Out comes the punt team.
It looked like it for a little while, and then I think Coach Hoskins saw the spot and decided not to risk it.
So into the wind, Noonan will punt. 4:35, and the clock is moving here after the rushing play on 3rd down. Noonan catches it clean and punts it away. It's not going to be a long one, but it's going to be better than where they were before. This punt will go down to the 13, and there's a flag with a couple of players getting tangled up here in the punt coverage. This is going to be interesting to see where this goes. I wouldn't be holding. It's going to be either unnecessary roughness or... There's been a little bit of this on some of the interior runs with the guys out wide, but this is the first time I've seen it on special teams. Nope, I spoke too soon. It will be holding, and that's going to make things even tougher for the visitors. 4:17 on the clock as they take over. So after the penalty, they'll start from the 6. Russ moves to the left side of Stonskis. Everybody over there now for North Scott. And off the left side it goes for about 4 yards. Second and 6, out of bounds, so the clock stopped with 4:11 to go. Everybody to the right-hand side this time, with the exception of one receiver. Ooh, bobbled the snap. Stonskis just going to go forward as far as he can, maybe a yard. 3rd and 4 or 5 here. Mustang Nation, or the Stang Gang as they call themselves, coming to life here on the near sideline on 3rd down. Stanska's going to tuck it away, zip it in, and he's got his man. Wilkerson has first down yards out near the 25.
And out in Epworth, Western Dubuque has scored 22-18, 29 seconds left. Pleasant Valley has just one timeout, so after knocking off Cedar Falls in the Unidome last week, Bobcats on the cusp of another huge victory.
3:30 and counting here with another exciting finish potentially in store. The visitors from North Scott looking to make something happen, and good tackling here from Hempstead. It'll be a loss of 2. 2 timeouts left for North Scott. We'll see when they decide to use them. They're up to the line pretty quick on every play, so it's just a matter of getting it in and getting it going. Play action. Stanska's going to flip one out again and caught at the 30. Not enough for a first down, but enough to get the parents on the far sideline up on their feet. 27-24. The 31-yard field goal was good by plenty of distance earlier from Fairfield. He will bet he's going to have the wind with him, but it's a little bit left to right going this direction. So not going to be easy if they can get there. 3rd and 5, we'll call it. Up the middle and enough for a first. Jared Russ going to get 6 when he needed 5. Game clock down to 2:05. They'll stop the clock to move the sticks and then start it again here shortly. Still on their own 37. Some work to do for the Lancers. They've also run routes behind the line of scrimmage, just past the line of scrimmage, down the sidelines, and deep down the middle. So no favorite spot for Stanskis in the offense either. Oh, look at this. Going to be an end around. They're going to flip it back the other way, and Crowder missed! Crowder was in the neighborhood but came up empty. Stanskis has it back, and he's past midfield. I love the play call from North Scott.
And Crowder went for the pick and missed, and it just turned into a huge gain for North Scott right there.
Marshawn Crowder's playing corner on the far side, and he was in the neighborhood. If he knocks it down or intercepts it, it's pretty much ball game over. Instead, Lancers ready to snap it again here from the Mustangs 46. Empty backfield. Stanskis sets his feet, airs it out, and broken up. Lucas Troke gets the pass breakup at the 15-yard line. It stops the clock. North Scott still has their 2 timeouts, so a running play is certainly an option still. Maybe you save the last one if you want to run your kicker Fairfield out there for a potential game-tying field goal.
32nd passing attempt for North Scott tonight.
Russ to Stanskis' left. He will roll that way and miss his target. Jack Russell was in the backfield. He's been there quite a bit. Haven't called his name too many times, but he's been there quite a bit. 3rd and 10 now. And the Hempstead bench trying to get family, friends on their feet. Johnny Miller plays center field for the Mustangs defense here. Pistol formation, 2 wide receivers to each side from the left hash mark. Going to go to the other side on the little screen, and a little bit of room to work. Down at the 40, a great open field tackle from Brennan Imhoff.
4th and 4.
A minute 8 and counting down. 4th and 4, a big play here. I got to believe you're going to use a timeout. No. North Scott looks like they want to go, and go quickly. This could be your ball game. Stanskis. Hard count, nothing. Still 9 seconds on the play clock. Under 50 seconds now on the game clock. Here it is, 4th down. Stanskis will keep it. He's got some room on the left side, and he'll be stood up at the 37. Did he get the 36?
Looks real
no,
short.
He looks a yard short. Stanskis looks like he's a full yard short. And I give the referee credit. He's going to measure to be certain. You don't want to leave this one up to interpretation. From here, which is pretty much right where we're sitting at the 35-yard line in the press box at Dalzell, this one looks to be about 2 feet to a yard short.
Yeah, needed 4, got 1 by my count.
I tell you what, Stanskis did a good job of reaching the ball out. The contact was too much from the Mustangs. It'll be Mustangs ball. 38.1 left. Lancers can stop it twice, but not enough. 2 knees from Crowder should do it. I was a little surprised North Scott didn't take a timeout on 4th and 4. You understand both sides of it. You want to keep the defense guessing. You've got a little bit of momentum. And yet at the same time, we've seen both teams call timeouts in big spots for big play calls. Lancers decided not to and come up 2 feet short of a first down they desperately needed. Crowder takes a knee. Timeout, North Scott.
Ball's down by Crowder. Timeout Lancers.
Splash of water maybe for a couple people. Yep, we're going to head to the sidelines and catch our breath here. Well, this one turned into quite the football game. We weren't sure it was going to be that way after the first quarter and a half. The Mustangs were in control. But credit North Scott. Starting with the ball in the second half. Didn't get down on themselves. Chipped away. The only points this half for Hempstead were the Marshawn Crowder 52-yard touchdown run on the first play after one of the scoring possessions for North Scott. Took the wind out of their sails, and the homecoming king is going to lead his Mustangs to victory here at Dalzell. Final timeout. North Scott going to make them snap it one more time, and why not? They bobbled the snap earlier this quarter. So you're going to make them do it the maximum amount of times. Coach Hoskins goes out and meets him at the hash mark. One more clean snap, and Hempstead goes home happy. Crowder under center with some help surrounding him. He's got it. He'll take a few steps back and take a knee. And that'll do it. 27 seconds. No, I take that back. He tried to burn the last couple seconds off, and the play clock will not start until after it's been re-spotted, and from the right hash mark, that's enough. That's why Coach Hoskins was giving him those last couple seconds of instruction. Marshawn, take a few steps, burn a few seconds. Make sure we don't have to snap another play. And that's exactly what they did. By the time it was spotted, the game clock was under 25 seconds. And here at Dalzell, the Mustangs on homecoming come away winners, 27-24. After a gutsy performance from North Scott to fight their way back. In the end, just not enough. We'll take a quick break, come right back, and wrap this up for you on homecoming here for Hempstead.
We here at GoFindMyCar.com are searching for a fresh new look to represent the services we offer. We held an open casting call to anyone to help us out.
Cooking up some great deals.
Can't find a car in any of the local literature?
Well, you can have my bow.
I and my axe.
And my website, GoFindMyCar.com.
We're still searching for the fresh new look for GoFindMyCar.com.
Welcome back to a cheerful Dalzell Field. The home team victorious, 27-24, Hempstead over North Scott in a big district game for these guys. It wasn't always pretty, but it was effective for the Mustangs. 20 first half points and a Marshawn Crowder hat trick on a long run here in the second half in the third quarter to keep them at a safe distance. In the end, it's enough for Hempstead to start a winning streak. 2 in a row now for them after their win a week ago in Waterloo. They improve to 3-2 with victories over Davenport North, Waterloo East, and now North Scott. We haven't even mentioned next week's game when they'll take on Senior right back here at Dalzell. Plenty to talk about in this one. It was all Mustangs in the first quarter and a half. North Scott scrapped their way back. Marshawn Crowder and Sam Stonskis traded punches for much of the second half. And in the end, it was Crowder's performance that prevailed. Tim, you've been typing furiously and scribbling stats all game. What jumps out at you after 4 quarters?
Well, you know, North Scott had a heck of a game, able to move the ball offensively, just stalled out at the worst times. You know, they had a quarterback who threw for 244 yards, a running back who ran for 110. A lot of times that'll be good enough to win. But Hempstead just took advantage of its opportunities in the first half, made enough stops on defense in the second half, and just a really nice win for Hempstead to start district play. 2 games in a row now that they've won, so nice way to open district play, I guess, and start that fight for a playoff spot.
Thank you for your time tonight, Tim. I know you want to go grab a few quotes as you get ready to go to press here for the Telegraph-Herald for tomorrow. Thanks for jumping in and keeping track of that stuff for us. You know, in my mind, both teams, well, one of them overcame a couple silly penalties. They both committed a couple silly penalties. The one that sticks out maybe the most is the one on North Scott when they were knocking on the door. It meant a field goal instead of a touchdown. They really could have used that. And then a couple other plays stick out to me. A couple times North Scott put up some points, and as a coach, you want to see your team respond. Are we going to go 3 and out and give it right back to them, keep the momentum with them? Twice the Mustangs responded. Once in the form of a kick return. Brennan Imhoff went 93 of the 96 yards, coughed it up inside the 5 as he tried to stretch for the pylon. The Mustangs fell on it. We're still not sure who fell on that ball, I don't think. No. But in the end, you look at the scoreboard and see a 3-point difference. You know how important that is. And then later in the game, Marshawn Crowder comes out at midfield after the squib kick, onside kick, whatever you want to call it. North Scott trying to get creative in the kicking game to keep the momentum on their side. Marshawn Crowder broke a tackle as he went into North Scott territory, shook a guy along the sideline, ran up the sideline, made a move at about the 20-yard line, and sprinted towards the middle of the end zone to keep his team in front. He's homecoming queen. He scored 3 touchdowns tonight, and his team is going home victorious. So, a happy night for Crowder as homecoming king, a happy night for the Mustangs on homecoming, and all in all, plenty to celebrate for Coach Hoskins and his guys. North Scott, as we mentioned, a solid effort, but they go back and now on a losing streak with 2 straight losses to Muscatine and Hempstead. They will play Western Dubuque next weekend, so another local game. It'll be down in Eldridge at North Scott, but another good football game in store based on what we've seen transpire over the last couple weeks. For Paul Kreutzsides, Andrew Thill, Tim O'Neill, and all of us here at the Telegraph-Herald, thanks for joining us tonight. Safe travels home, and we'll talk to you again next week when we get more volleyball and football here at thonline.com/live. Have a great weekend.